Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Namaduhu wa nasalli ala Rasuli al-Kareem. Viewers, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Today I'm going to talk about verse 36 of the of chapter 51, which is Surah Adh-Dhariyat. But before I translate that verse, I want to start from verse 24 of chapter 51, Surah Adh-Dhariyat, to give the context in which this verse was revealed and to show how the Ahmedi translator has translated this. Verse 24 of Surah Zariyat, chapter 51 is, has the story reached you of the honored guests of Ibrahim, that is, Abraham, peace be upon him? When they came to him and said, Salam, peace be upon you, he answered, Salam, peace be upon you, and said, You are a people unknown to me. In verse 26, it says, Then he turned to his household, so brought out a roasted calf. 27, and placed it before them, that is his guests, and asked, Will you not eat? 28, Then he conceived a fear of them when they ate not. They said, Fear not, and we gave him glad tidings of an intelligent son having knowledge. 29 says, When his wife came forward with a loud voice, she smote her face and said, A barren old woman. 30 says, They said, Even so says your Lord. Verily, he's all wise, all knower. 31, Abraham, peace be upon him, said, Then for what purpose have you come, O messengers? 32, they said, We have been sent to a people who are sinners. 33, to send down upon them stones of baked clay. 34, marked by your Lord for the sinners, those who trespass Allah's set limits in evil doing by committing great sins. 35, so we brought out from therein the believers. And this is the verse that I was going to talk about. That is verse 36. But we found not there any household of the Muslims. Notice the Quran is saying Muslims. The Arabic word in the Quran is Muslims. But we found not therein any household of the Muslims except one, and that is the household of Prophet Lot, that is, peace be upon him, and his two daughters. Now, this verse has been translated by Muhammad Zafarullah Khan in this way, and you will notice once again, as his style, he has omitted the mention Muslim from the translation. He writes, his translation says, Abraham asked them, Now what is your errand, you ye messengers? They answered, We have been sent to a sinful people, that we may send down upon them stones of clay which are marked by the Lord for the punishment of those guilty of excesses. We have brought therefrom all those who are believers, and we found therein only one household of those obedient to us. Here, Zafarullah Khan uses the word obedient. He omits the word Muslim. So readers reading the translation would not know that Allah is talking about Muslim. The only people saved from the punishment of Allah were the Muslims. And this is, keep in mind, the time of Prophet Lut or Prophet Lot, as he's mentioned in the Bible. This is a translation now of Muhammad Asad, who is following the same line as the Ahmedi scholar Muhammad Zafarullah Khan. And in another video, I will explain how much influenced these translators of the Quran were by the Ahmedi translators. According to the translation of Muhammad Asad of the same verse, he writes, and we he writes, and in the course of time we brought out of Lot's city few believers as were there, for apart from one single household, we did not find there any who had surrendered themselves to us. He also omits the word Muslim. People reading that translation will not know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is specifically mentioning that the people who were saved from the destruction, from the punishment of Allah on that day when the punishment came, the only people who were saved were the Muslims of that time. So this is very important for readers who are reading translations, that they know that the translations by Ahmedi scholars or those who follow the Ahmedi scholars are not reliable. They can go through the whole Quran and not see any reference to the word Muslim. Pict Hall is using the same language in his translation. He does not mention the word Muslim. So readers should know that in order to understand the message of the Quran, it is essential that they are able to read the Arabic. When you're reading the Arabic Quran, in which the Quran was revealed, they will immediately see that the translation is not accurate. Wa akhir dawana in alhamdulillah rabbil alameen.